Hey everyone! So I figured I would make a video to document something that is going on right now. So Pazu, we had to take to the vet today. It turns out he has a upper respiratory infection and it's pretty much just like a cold with ferrets like it is in humans. I'll talk a little bit more about how I discovered that he had this in a bit, but I figured I would document throughout the week, giving him his medication, keeping him comfortable and resting, feeding him, and how I go about doing that with a sick ferret. Thought it would be an interesting opportunity to do that. Sort of quarantined in the cage for right now. He does get his own free roam time. I just have to keep him separate from the others for now while he's still possibly contagious. So this cage cover I've talked about before. I got it off of Amazon. It's nice to keep the artificial light out, but for now I'm just using it to keep him comfortable and sleepy so he can rest. So he is currently in his blankie. Oh, hi buddy, hi sick boy. How are ya? He's got his toys with him. You doing okay, bud? He's been a little sniffly, a little sneezy today. Oh, there he goes again. So he's been sneezing and just been very congested today. But overall, he's doing better than yesterday. He was very sluggish yesterday. But even today with his fever, he has been much better. So he has some medications I'll show you in a little bit. But for now, he is resting. So this is me just trying to get him to eat. He does like to bring his food on the floor, so that's what he did. But as you can see here, he's a little sort of coughy, a little congested while he's eating. That is normal for a respiratory infection. As you can see, he's just having trouble breathing while he's eating because his nose gets scrunched up and the meat goes in front of his nose and whatnot. But yes, he's doing a lot better because he actually wants to eat today. Yesterday, he was not too keen on doing that, so this makes me very happy. One of the most important things with sick ferrets is keeping them hydrated. Their raw diet contains most of the water that they need, if not pretty much all of the water that they need. So making sure that Pazu, bless you buddy, so making sure that Pazu eats his food and in the almost to his normal amount that he would usually eat, that will be good enough for him to keep him hydrated. But it is a good idea to add extra fluids to the raw meat to really give him the extra hydration that he needs during this time. Pazu. Cleaned out the cage for Pazu. He's only in here when he wants to sleep. When he's up and about, I usually let him out, but since the other three ferrets are running around and freaking out like so, he is in here for the time being, but he was just trying to sleep, so that's why I put him in here. Is your brother sick? Is your brother sick? So I took his litter box out so I can give it a nice deep clean, and he's got his really soupy food up here, his favorite blanket, so he is all cozied up in there. I'm gonna clean out the litter box now. All I have is these pine pellets. I really do not like the smell of these, so I'm gonna give it a really nice deep clean because just to get rid of that woody smell. Put some new ones in there. Here we have the sick boy, day 2. Hi, buddy. He was just running around and playing in the bedroom. I'm trying to get him to take another nap, but it looks like he wants to come back out. So Pazu's doing a little bit better today, although he did have a very rough night last night. Oh, he wants to join his friends so bad. They're eating their breakfast, but he has not been wanting to eat. I've been trying to get him to eat ever since yesterday. He just eats like the really watery bits. He doesn't like to chew anything right now because it hurts to breathe. Hi, handsome. I just washed my hands, so I don't really want to touch him again. Anyways, he had a really rough night last night. He woke me up like on 5 different occasions because he would have like a coughing attack, or he would just cough, or sneeze. So I would just keep being woken up by this. I would let him out, I would cuddle him, offer him some food because he's not eating on his own right now, and to see if he wants to go potty anywhere that isn't in the tiny litter box. So it was such a rough night for both of us because I mean I got like no sleep at all, so I'm pretty tired. And then Appa and Momo wanted to get up and get out of the room at like 8 a.m. sharp today, so I had to let them out, and I'm so tired. But I'm ready to take on the day today. I'm gonna be giving his medicine later this morning, and I'm actually going to be making him a different breakfast, something that is a little bit more palatable for him. While the others are enjoying a rabbit breakfast, Pazu is going to have a soup made from blended duck heart and some egg yolk. I wanted to show you guys something that your vet might give you if your ferret is sick. I'm gonna try to cover my address here. It's called carnivore care, and they give it to sick ferrets. A lot of vet offices have this at their practice, and it has a dried whole egg, dried chicken, fish oil, a bunch of supplements, vitamins, minerals, and whatnot. I generally, when this is offered to me, I generally refuse. And that is because as a raw feeder, I have so many other things that I could give them, so many soups that I could make that would help boost their hydration and make them eat, etc. So I usually refuse that, but I had refused it, and then at the end of the visit, before she left the room, she was like, and I'm gonna send you home with some carnivore care, and then she just left, and I was like, oh great, okay. Because the last time I had to refuse it actually 2 separate times, one with the vet and then one at the reception desk at the end because they were trying to sell it to me again. So I had to refuse it twice then, just because, I mean, like, there's no point for a raw feeder to have this. If you are a raw feeder and you are offered carnivore care to give to your sick ferret, they might not even like it. Pazu despises it. I tried to get him to eat some and he like spit it out. He was like, this is disgusting, what are you feeding me? It's just a powder that you mix with water to make like a gruel with it. And he was not a fan. A lot of ferrets are not a fan of it, so just keep in mind. And if you are a raw feeder, just to get them to eat something, make them a soup in your blender of anything that they really enjoy, whether that be like ground turkey, ground duck, ground rabbit, etc. Anything that they like, just make into a soup. Because even like Pazu's most favorite food in the world, which is the duck grind, he is not wanting to eat it. Anytime he gets to like any chewy bits, he's like, no, and he runs and stashes like that tiny little piece because he doesn't want to eat it. He can't breathe properly when he's eating, so he'd rather just slurp stuff. So I'm going to make a soup because I have a lot of duck heart for him, so I'll do that, some egg yolk, maybe a little eggshell powder because he hasn't been having like any calcium the past 2 days because he's just not eating any bones. Other than that, he is feeling much better, much more himself. Like the other day, he was just so sluggish. He wasn't exactly lethargic, but he was like right there, and he couldn't run anywhere, so he would be walking really slow, and he would just like stand there and space out for a few minutes. And that's kind of how I noticed that something was wrong, because that's not normal. He wasn't eating as much, and eating is his most favorite thing in this whole world. He didn't want to play either, so that's how I knew he had it. And he was coughing, so he was a little wheezy in his throat, and it seemed like he couldn't breathe very well through his nose. And so yesterday the sniffling and the sneezing started. He wasn't really doing that before, And oh my gosh, last night was so awful. I really hope that tonight goes a little bit better. He is really itching to play with his buddies, but I'm trying to keep them separated, and it is so difficult. Let me tell you, it's not been fun keeping them apart. Okay, so the first med we have Meloxidil. This is the one that he actually likes. Good boy. He actually likes that medicine. Now we have to do the one he doesn't like. Okay, now I'm gonna burrito him to do the other medication. It's Clavamox, so he does not enjoy it. Burrito him up. I know. Good boy. Good boy. A lot of praise. Good boy. Not as awful as other medications that he's had, so good boy. Come on. To give Pazu boy his medicine for today. This is the one that he likes, so he should just eat it. Good boy. Sorry, I look super rough. I just woke up. But anyways, it's been a few days since I've updated you on Pazu's condition. He is doing much, much better. He started eating on his own, and he's eating like normal portions. He's also not contagious anymore, so he's been out with the others, and he's been so much happier now. We're no longer doing shifts of playtime for him. So that is pretty much all that I do. Of course, some infections are worse than others. His wasn't too bad. He still had a little bit of sniffling. He is still on medication for a little while longer. It's important to finish off your medication. Don't just stop because symptoms have went away. You're supposed to finish the dose for that. It's so important to catch things as early as you can and then go right to the vet. Don't just wait until it gets too bad. This is why it's important to have money set aside for vet bills, because ferrets get sick when you least expect it, or when it is just super inconvenient timing. You have to be prepared for that. But anyways, I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to subscribe. I will be doing a giveaway at 4,000 subscribers. I am almost there. So if you want to be involved in that, definitely do not forget to hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, etc. You know the deal. But I will see you then. Have a great one. Bye. Here is a overview of what my vet bill looked like, just to talk about it a little briefly here. This is how much money I spent, almost $160 on just a simple cold for a ferret. Now they're able to charge more money because they are considered an exotic animal, and the reason why I wanted to show you my bill was that this is something that you have to be ready to drop on your ferret at any moment. Your ferret can develop a cold. Again, none of us are sick in the household. It's just something that we unfortunately brought home with us. So it doesn't matter if you're not sick or if no one in your house is sick, they still have the possibility of getting a upper respiratory infection.